Hi all, continuing our theme of grandmaster blunders on this channel, showing that even grandmasters are still just human. Here, playing white Alexander Grischuk in round 1 of the Norway tournament was playing Fabiano Caruana, who had just played Queen d4. Black has an active position. According to engines, this is equal though. Knight f4, for example, invites a trade of queens, and this kind of position actually has very little to fear for white. This position is looking like a very solid fortress for white, where the engine actually suggests 0.00 for at least 3 moves. King h6, rook a6. Nothing really black can do to penetrate white's fortress. So knight f4 seems a reasonable move actually, and also another move which seems quite reasonable to maybe try and get some attacking prospects at some point is queen b1, where the queen threatens things like h5 and maybe some coordination at some point. But here black prevents any action of the queen with rook ab3, and now here is the point where white really severely slips up. Moves which apparently are equal here. Queen d1 back to d1 is nearly okay. Queen a1 is more than okay because it kind of pins the knight to the queen. I mean, it looks at the queen, so this rook can't move without dropping the queen. The queen is protected from the rook, so it's safe enough to play queen a1 here, and maybe black can repeat, but it doesn't seem as though black can actually make too much tangible progress in this position. What occurred instead was quite a remarkable blunder. This is approaching move 40, which I've described before as the blunder zone, when grandmasters who are human become very short of time. They might blunder often just shortly before move 40. This is at move 38, and white plays now queen a2. Can you spot what black plays in this position? So Fabiano must have been licking his lips once he saw this move. I'll give you 10 seconds to pause the video. What would you play with the black pieces in this position? Okay, black plays the forcing move rook takes d3. The queen sits very well on d4, preventing even the check here. It's guarding a7. Now after e takes d3, black delivers a crushing blow in this position. I hope you can spot it. Rook b2, hitting the queen, hitting the soft spot f2. This is a total disaster for white. Let's look exactly why. If the queen moves here, queen takes f2 check. If the king moves now to h3, in this position the most incisive move here is actually for black to play bishop f4. This actually gives black the h6 square, even if there was a check, which there isn't at the moment. But looking at g3, and what does white do about this? If takes, queen takes f3 is mate. If queen e1, black just plays queen takes f3, threatening queen g2 and queen g4 mate. It's completely crushing this position. The queen e7 check here, now we can use that h6 square. So that's why bishop f4, according to engines, is the most incisive continuation here. Bishop f4. That's the most crushing move. Queen takes f3 is actually also very strong as well. That's quite simple and strong. Even if the rook drops, this is looking at the rook on h1. So that's quite crushing as well. And you check here, bishop g7. So the disaster here was not factoring in the forcing move rook takes d3. So if it can happen to these super grandmasters, I think it can happen to all of us on YouTube who are usually not grandmasters, let alone super grandmasters. So watch out for those forcing moves, especially if you're reaching move 40 or whatever time control you play at. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.